Thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League, Baz. And as always,
not talking about
the press from the Southern Footy League joins us, Craig Warman, not talking about Cove, I assume.
No, Cove, no, not talking about Cove. Don't bring Cove up. Although they are the match of the day next week.
They are.
They are, but...
So the reason we're not talking about them, mate, is because Happy Valley touched them up on the weekend.
Big time.
But it wasn't all that big. It wasn't that big, 41-22. It wasn't a bad game, was it?
No, a reasonable sort of game, but it was played at Happy Valley's home game. So
yes, it was.
They kicked off their season with a victory there. So
and full marks to Happy Valley here because I've been moving house and I've been driving past. They've got magnificent signage up there saying their game of the day and, you know, the Vikings versus Cove and, you know, to invite people in. No, they did a really good job. I'm serious about it.
Oh,
you know?
I wonder where you were going.
No,
You're talking about moving, mate. I'm thinking, how are you going to tie this into your question?
I've been moving house and I've been...
Don't run away.
I've been driving down...
Cove going that bad, you're moving.
Yeah, moving away from Cove, for sure. Yeah. I've actually moved into the Vikings area, so I could be a Viking now.
Let's talk about Morphett Vale, mate, because we talked about them last week, and we know they're a work in progress. Complete rebuild, probably started last year, starting to go. I mean, Noarlunga are having a breakout year, so we accept that, but it was a big margin.
It was a big margin, but in actual fact, there was only a couple of goals in it at half time, believe it or not.
Yep.
So, again, started off really well, Morphett Vale, but it's just the youngsters can't sustain it over the four quarters. Bit like Port Adelaide, I suppose, you know, come with a rush at the end, but
be a bit careful here. Be a little bit careful here.
Morphett Vale start the other way. Start with a rush and run out of legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, too little, too late, Port Adelaide. Anyway.
Oh, hello. We're having a bit of a crack at Port. Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
He's just saying similar style.
Similar style.
Oh, right, okay.
Only play
right.
a good half or get a run on.
Yeah, all right, yeah, okay. You're sitting a bit close to me to be saying those sort of things. You know, I've got one cocked here.
Mate, yeah, well, make sure it goes that way, can you, mate? Battle of the Sock, of course, Christie's Beach, mate, 11-8-74, Port Noarlunga 6-4-40, but the more important part was first time that Christie's have got them since 2017 in the Battle of the Sock.
Yeah, it was, and that was our tribe match of the day on the radio, and yeah, look, Christie's, they're the real deal.
They're impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, Porties were up and about, when they played Noarlunga a couple of weeks ago, headed Noarlunga going into that last quarter and got overrun. So it was our first look at Port Noarlunga, and Porty, they're a good side. Had a couple of injuries early that cost them dearly. Their male medalist, Tommy Dix, did his knee.
Badly?
No, just dislocated it, so he'll be out for a couple. But in saying that, that certainly left them short with the rotations. And again, by half time, they only had one left on the bench. So Christie's overran them in the end. But it was a really good high standard game. And congrats to Blake Carter from Christie's. He's on fire at the moment. He's kicked 40-odd goals in 6 games.
Wow.
He kicked 8 out of the 12 that Christie scored on the weekend. And for a Collingwood 6-footer, mate, he's probably got the best hands I've seen on a footballer for a long, long time.
There's a couple of teams in the SANFL that could use a bloke like that. You might want to be careful.
And,
exactly right.
He was at South Adelaide, believe it or not. Did all the pre-season at South Adelaide. Couldn't get a gig there, so came back to Christie's. And again, he's certainly up and about with his footy so far this year.
All right, Billy's boys, my boys, Ranella, mate, finally we're back on track. Thank goodness, mate. Big win over Aldinga. They held Aldinga to 1 goal. So just was that type of game?
It was, from what I'm led to believe, it was just that type of game. As we know, new coach at Aldinga, we get to meet him.
It's going to take him a while.
Going to get to meet him next week. He'll be on the show next week. So.
Who is it?
Trevor Midden.
Okay.
So his record's pretty impressive. So they've got a good man. I reckon it's the one now. It's a tricky one, isn't it? How patient we have to be if we're at Aldinga. Because you come in midstream, no pre-season, you're trying to put your footy in play. I reckon it takes about 18 months for teams to grasp it, and to try and do it during the season is nearly impossible.
Why the new coach? Was he new coach from the word go, or has he just moved in?
No. They had a coach during the pre-season, first couple of games, but then there was
this is what you're alluding to.
Situation. But Trevor stepped up to the plate. He's a premiership coach, 2-time premiership coach in our league. And he's got a really hard one on his plate this week because they take on his old side, Noarlunga.
Oh, bad luck, yeah.
So top of the table too. It doesn't get much easier for them, does it? So,
but in saying that, there'll be a crowd there just to see how Trevor's progressing with that. And I say, it's going to take a little bit of time, but the good part about that was in a couple of the junior grades, they actually beat Ranella. So there is light at the end of the tunnel with their junior program.
You did say that last week. You said that their junior program was pretty good, so that's what you should be looking at. Not their A grade at the moment, because they are building. They're a bit like Morphe's, aren't they, as far as building goes? I thought
you were going to say Port Adelaide for a minute, but
that's 3 times, you know. The 4th time, normally you go and you're on the deck. You know? I'd be a bit careful. I've just come from the club. Can I just digress a moment here?
Yeah, no, please.
And there was a huge lunch going on there with the retired policemen. Now, you should know about that. They eat at our club once every couple of months.
Yep.
And a guy walked in wearing a crow's beanie and scarf. Now, why would you do that?
Oh,
walking into the Port Adelaide Football Club.
You clearly haven't thought very well.
Sorry?
He hasn't thought it out very well.
No. I did say to him, I just said to him, you know, are you going crabbing? But I just couldn't work out why he would do that.
I can't actually believe that's what you said.
No, that's what I said.
Did you really? All right, let's get on to round 6.
Pretty close, anyway,
we just touched on it. Aldinga, not getting it easy for them against Noarlunga, so we leave that one alone. Christie's Beach, who we were saying, playing some really good footy at the moment. They're in 2nd spot. Happy Valley had a good win on the weekend. They sit in 8th. This game might be a little bit better than the ladder suggests.
I was just thinking.
I think it will be. From what I'm led to believe, talking to the people at Happy Valley during the week, they're really happy with the way things are really slow start of the season. They've now broken the ice, so to speak. They're looking for a really good hit out against Christie's. But in saying that, Christie's are up and about as well, so the old Saints are on the march.
That's a good game. That's
your team,
the Cobras. Mate. Well, it doesn't get any easier, does it? Flaggies, but it's at Cobra Park.
It is.
It's a sponsors' day.
Yes.
It's a massive day. It's a match of the round.
Match of the round on Tribe.
You're going to be calling it.
Yep.
I don't think it might. I don't think it's going to help them that much, though. I think Flaggies are pretty good. Well, they're
and of course Flaggies coming off the bye last week as well.
Fresh as a dip.
Fresh as a daisy, and it won't get any easier. But in the corresponding game last year.
Yes,
Cove got them.
They did get them. Yes, they did.
And that was unexpected. And it was Flaggy's first loss for quite a while. So not unheard of for the old snake pit to.
I was just going to say, it's not an easy place to play.
No, it's not.
Is it?
Especially if it's cold and wet.
It's a sort of a funny ground to play on. You know, it looks like it's short at one end, and you got 400 million miles over to the other side. That sort of ground, a bit like Prospect.
Yep.
When you get a Prospect and it's that weird sort of shape, but the snake pit's a bit like that, isn't it?
It is.
You can get lost on the outer side.
Very much so.
You can get lost. So that's why they should win more games there than they do, really. And I thought that when I was there, that you should win more games at home. I suppose all teams would say that, but especially when it's a bit of a difficult ground to play. Well, Seaton Rammers is another ground where it's one side is just a million miles away.
Sometimes those abnormalities give you that home advantage, don't they? As opposed to normal ground. But
exactly. So it'll be a good game.
But it will be a good game, and of course. Over the next couple of weeks, this week in particular, we start all our association training.
I'll get ready for the KI
our big association trip to KI are coming here this year to play our under-21s and a group of girls, and of course our really big one with Great Southern on June 8th. So
the game we didn't touch on, just quickly go back to it, Port Noarlunga up against Morphett Vale. It's at Port Noarlunga. Both teams come off a loss. We know Morphe's are on the rebuild. Port Noarlunga have been a little up and down. Would it surprise you if Morphe's got them?
No, no, probably not, because they played a trial game just before the start of the season, and Morphe's actually knocked them off by a couple of goals, albeit a trial game.
Yeah.
But the form guide would suggest that this will be reasonably close, and they normally are. Morphet Vale, believe it or not, are one of the sides that actually have a winning record at
Port Noarlunga.
Port Noarlunga.
Well, okay, another tough host. You talked about the associations getting ready, and we're going to run out of time, unfortunately, but the girls, they were up and about, second week for them.
Yes.
Been some interesting results there as well.
Yes, some very interesting results there, and of course, as part of our association program, we have an open women's game that's played directly before the men. So we play the two junior games, under 15s, under 17 halves. Then we've got the senior women, and then of course, the big senior game on the day.
Well, we always appreciate you coming in. Southern Footy League on this weekend. Get on it. I'll get Craig out of here before we make one more reference to Port Adelaide.
No, I'm just going to say, if he gets a flat tire on the way home, give us a ring.
Yeah. Stay with us. Still more to come on the show.